Welcome, hey everybody. Welcome to our webinar for cross-selling your clients' stores with Corvid by Wix. Thanks for coming. We're going to get started in a few moments. Just wait for some more guests to join in. Just a reminder for our webinars, make sure that you are in the chat and you change your chat settings from all panelists to all panelists and attendees so that everyone can be involved in the conversation. So you might have a question that somebody else might want to see, or you might have a response to somebody, or you might have a question as well. So feel free to use the Q&A or to use the chat to communicate with us. So Meredith, our other developer advocate, is going to be in the chat answering questions as well once we get started. So again, we'll wait just like a little bit just to see, have more people come in. And then we'll get started with everything. And for the time being, so far, where's everybody from? Love to talk with you in the chat as well. We have someone from Hong Kong, Israel. Awesome. Cool. And so today we're going to be going over cross-selling with Corvid by Wix. Awesome. All righty. So we'll get started. Again, welcome everybody to our webinar for cross-selling on your client stores with Corvid by Wix. So today we're going to go over how to enhance your marketing and also increase your revenue with this technique that you'll see across the web on many e-commerce sites. Like, for example, some of your favorite e-commerce sites have boosted their revenue by over, 10 to 30% just using cross-selling in their products and on the e-commerce stores. So this is a process that takes place right before you check out your items. And it suggests items that you'd like to promote and push for your clients and your customers to see. So you got to kind of think of it like as if you're at the deli and you're getting a cup of coffee and you want to get a pastry. Or if you're at the supermarket and you're buying all your groceries and you see a pack of gum that you'd like to buy. So we're putting those products right in front of your face to help increase your revenue, enhance your marketing, and then also just enhance the customer experience overall. So before we get started, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Joshua Alphonse. I'm a full stack developer. I'm also a music producer. I love collecting vintage synthesizers and records from across the world. And also I'm a developer advocate for Corvid by Wix. So definitely feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or LinkedIn. You can find me on Twitter at Josh Alphonse, and you can find me on LinkedIn, just my name, Joshua Alphonse. And as I mentioned in the chat today, we also have our other developer advocate from San Francisco, Meredith Hassett. She'll be in the chat answering any questions. And Meredith, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi, Joshua. Thank you. As Joshua mentioned, my name is Meredith Hassett, and I am based in San Francisco, California. I am a front-end developer by trade. Just because I like to focus on the front end doesn't mean I don't think the back end's any less important. I just prefer doing integrations with it. So check me out on Twitter or LinkedIn if you want to see some cool integrations that we've done with Corvid. And last but not least, I am a developer advocate for Corvid by Wix, and I'm happy to answer any of your guys' questions you may have. Just remember to have it set to all panelists and attendees so they can see your questions as we're answering them in the chat or live at the end during the Q&A session.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Meredith. And we also have the Q&A section as well, aside from the chat. So if you want to ask any questions there as well, you can go and feel free to. And Meredith will be there to support throughout the webinar. So we'll also have some time towards the end to do some Q&A as well. So for this webinar, we're going to cover a few different things. We're going to talk about the advantages of cross-selling and what it can do for you and your website. How to cross-sell with Wix stores in combination with Corvid. We'll touch the Wix Data API and that's how it's going to help you put this certain product on your checkout page. And then we'll also talk about the Corvid certification program that some of you might be familiar with. And then, like I mentioned, we'll have some time for Q&A at the end as well. So if you have any hanging questions that you haven't got a chance to type in the chat or anything else, or if you just happen to come up with something last minute, we'll have some time to discuss and answer any questions. So cross-selling is a e-commerce technique that offers convenience and flexibility for your customers. So they're able to see a certain product that you like to push, either if it's related or not. So you can push this product out and get it sold. And then on top of that, you can learn more about your customers and then what their preferences are. So what I mean by that is, you can see what products that are going to work for you when you use the cross-selling technique. So let's say you just have, for example, a plant that you're trying to sell, and that product isn't pushing as well, and you want to go then change to a different product. You can then take your stats from there and learn more about your customers and what they like. You can get your customers to notice more products, of course, and then you can also increase your revenue from 10 to 30%, right? So this is pushing these products right in front of your face. Sometimes people don't even know they need something, and cross-selling is a solution that really helps with that. So let's see it in action. What it looks like to put the cross-selling feature inside of your site, what it looks like with Corvid and with Wix, and actually show you what the full functional site looks like right now. So right here we have Prickles & Co., which is a indoor plant website that we have here for buying plants. And what we'll do here is we'll actually go to the shop and we'll find ourselves a cacti. So now we're here, we're going to find a cactus of our liking. And I think that I want to get this mini potted cactus right here. So now you see that we've added it to our cart. And if we go to view cart, we're now in our cart page. And notice how there's something a little bit different here from your regular Wix checkout for Wix stores. We have here on the bottom a container that has different elements inside of it. So we use Wix data to then connect this to a database of our different products that we have in Wix stores. So we have a container here with a product for a medium plant. It's an indoor cactus. It's $20. It has the plant's information, the plant's picture, and you can also add it to your cart. So this is part of the cross-selling experience here. We have a product, it's right in front of our face, and we might not even known that we needed it. So let's go add it to our cart right away. Great. Now we have the ability to then check out. So it seems like a pretty straightforward process. And there's some lines of code that we have to go through, and this does require using the back end and the front end. But I'll walk you through of how to get this accomplished. So let's jump right in. Awesome. So let me just go here and change our view. Cool. So now we're in the editor. And we want to be able to then go from this front page to our cart page. So when you enable Corvid, you do get the site structure pane on the side. So you can navigate to the cart page. And if you'd like, you can also use this panel on the editor itself and navigate to the cart page. All right, so you can do that by going to store pages and then to cart page. So right now we're going to start to enhance our cart experience. So you see that I have some code that's already here, and right now our shopping cart is completely empty. So when you want to then also do when you create this cross-selling experience, you can customize it however you'd like. For this instance, like I mentioned before, we do have a container that's here, and the container has a few different elements within it. So we use the properties panel as well to then name these different UI elements and make sure that we ID them so that we don't get confused in our code with what we're actually adding functionality to. So we have this cross-sell box, we have the product names, the price, the product image, right? And you can design this however you'd like. You can have whatever elements that you need in order to push this product. What the most important part here really is also the code. So what we'll do first to get started, we'll make sure, of course, that we're on the cart page. And then we need to import Wix data. And the reason why we need to import Wix data on this first line here is because we need to be able to have some different functionality that's going to be working with our data collection for the store products that we have. So Wix Stores automatically makes a database or a data collection for you off the bat once you add the vertical. So as you can see here, we also have another backend function that is imported as well, so for get current cart, and we'll get to that soon. It's a very straightforward function that we have from Wix Stores backend. And then we'll add another constant here for the SKU or the SKU number of the product that we're trying to push. So in this case, let's say it's 007, and we can control all this from our vertical for Wix Stores. So the great part about this cross-selling feature is that you can also then add your options for that product as well. So let's say it's a product with many different colors, or it's a product with many different variations. Then you can use this as well. So let's go down and start writing out a function for us. So we want to be able to check if the product is missing from the cart or not, right? So as you see here inside of our onReady function, we have a few errors, but we're going to add some async functions so we can get rid of them. So right here, we're returning a promise that's going to see if the product is missing from the cart or not. And we have some conditional logic that's going to get the cross-sold product, and then also collapse the box if we're adding the product to our cart. So let's add a function here. And this function is going to check if the cart is missing. So we say async function, and we'll name it check if product missing from cart. So pretty straightforward name. Cool. So now that we have this function ready to go, actually I need to fix a few things. Now we have this function ready to go. We're going to add a constant for the actual line item in the cart. So Wix Stores actually allows you to have different properties to work with. So in this case, we're going to be using get current cart. So we'll say, we'll add a constant, and then we'll put line items, because this is getting our entire array of items that we have. And then we'll use get current cart. So get current cart is a function from Wix Stores backend. And we're going to be adding a backend function in a bit. So we'll add another constant here. And we're going to say is product missing from cart. So what we're going to do next is we're going to then have the line items. We're going to then add the every prototype or property to line items. And what this is doing is it's checking to see, it's a falsy operator that's checking to see through each item in the array of items that we have inside of our products database here. We're checking to see if anything comes back or returns false. And if that's the case, then what our response will come back will be false. So we'll say here, line item, and we'll do an arrow function here, line item dot SKU. And we'll say if it's not equal to the SKU that we have here at the top. So you see we added that constant earlier for the SKU of 007. So we're saying if that line item does not equal the SKU of the product that we have here that we're trying to push, then we won't be able to return anything. So in this case here, we'll return cross-sell product. So we're going to actually return is product missing from cart. So now that we have this this function here to check if the product is missing from the cart or not, what we'll do next is we'll add another function here that we have. We're going to actually get the cross-sell product from our database as well. So we'll use a Wix data query, and then we'll also then we'll specify which collection that we're going to be using. And so in this case, we'll be using the stores products collection that comes automatically with Wix stores once you add the vertical. And we'll use the find function as well to find that specific product. So let's add another async function here. We'll say get cross sell product. Cool. Great. So now what we'll do is we'll add another constant here, and we'll actually have it for the items and have it matching the SKU that we're looking for. So we'll say const items products matching SKU. So let's go and space this out a little bit just to make it a little bit more readable. We'll say await. And now we're going to use Wix data and Wix data in the query property as well, so we can specify which collection that we're going to be using. So we'll say Wix data, and we'll say dot query. And now let's choose our stores data collection. So stores products. And we'll see which specific property equals this value. So we'll use .eq. And the specific value that we're looking for is the SKU. So say SKU. And now, since we're checking to see the SKUs equal to the SKU that we have on the top of our page here, so in this case, it's 007. So again, we'll say cross-sell product SKU. And then we'll use the .find property here as well. Cool. Oops. Just fix some things. Use .find. And now what we'll do is we'll create another constant here that's going to equal the cross-sell product to the matching SKU. So we're going to have it equal to the first item in our array that we have of the products from this database here. So we'll say const cross-sell product. And we'll equal this to product matching SKU. And we'll choose the first item here. So next what we'll need to do is we actually need to return the cross-sell product just to end things. So now we've returned the cross-sell product here. Our functions are now ready to go. So these functions are going to start working right away on page load because we then called them inside of our onReady function. So if you see here on line 7 here, we use check if product is missing from cart, which is the same function that we have here. And on top of that, we also have our get cross-sell product here as well inside of our conditional logic to show the product if we can actually get it. So you notice at the bottom here on our last function that we have for this, you can see that we have another function here. It's called render cross-sell product. And it's using $W to select the items that are in the container for the cross-sell product itself. So let me just bring up the code panel up here again. So we have the name of the product. So we're equaling it to product.name, the price, product price, and we're selecting that here as well to the formatted price. And this is using your database that has all your stored products. Then we're also using Wix stores as well for the add to cart button. So you can add this item to your cart easily with code, with just a few lines of code as well. But it doesn't stop there. We do have to go to the back end so that we can also have some items from the cart be shown. So in order to show those items, we have to do this from the Wix stores backend API. So I'll navigate now to the site structure pane, and we'll go here to backend. what you'll do is actually create a new web module so we can export those functions to the front end. I already have one here made called cart.jsw. And what we'll do here is we'll import Wix stores from Wix stores backend. And Wix stores backend has functionality to get your current cart and get all the items there. So you can either return it inside of a JSON format, or you can then bring some things to the front end as well, like how we're doing here. So if I say export function, and then we can name this one get current cart. All right, so now let's get current cart. Oops. And all we'll need to do here is just return Wix stores dot get current cart. Awesome. Just that many lines of code, like literally 2 lines of code, not even 1. So we go here and we already have our backend function that's imported to our front end here on our cart page. So this is here, it's already created, and now we'll navigate back to our cart page here. And we've already imported our function, so get current cart, from the backend as well. So that's pretty much the process it will take to cross-sell a product with Corvid by Wix in combination with Wix data and Wix stores as their APIs as well. So make sure that you publish the site, and then you'll be ready to go from there. So once I go and publish, I'll just navigate over and we'll refresh our page here. Actually, let me go and publish it here. Go to our cacti page, just get our cactus again. Cool. Let's get rid of this medium plant. And we'll view our cart. Sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties. Okay, here we go. Sorry, that was a different page. So we'll go here to our cacti page and we will view our cart. Oh, I'm saving the old session. So let me actually just go here and take this out and we'll refresh. Great. So now we're back on our cart page here and we'll add to cart. We're already here on our cart page and you'll see that our item is now added and you'll be feel free to then check out. So make sure that you check us out on the Corvid API reference. There you'll find all the functions that were used today in the webinar, either if it's for Wix Stores backend, for Wix data as well. So definitely check that out. There's plenty of detail there in the API reference. The API reference has code snippets that you can copy and paste. Also has all of our APIs available for front-end elements, and then also SPIs for like external databases and any other type of monitoring tools. So some of you might be familiar, but for those who might not be, with the Corvid certified certification process. So it's currently available for all partners in the Wix marketplace. It includes an exam and an assignment. So the exam takes about 30 minutes or so to complete. So especially for those that are really very experienced in Corvid, it shouldn't take you too long. And you can get web development leads from the marketplace. So there's a few different things that it helps you do. There's a few different benefits as well. The value on top of getting certified is that that we will push you in front of these different leads in the marketplace that are Corvid specified. And you need to actually take this certification test and exam and assignment as well in order to take on any of these leads from web development web development clients that are looking for Corvid work. It's coming soon for all partners across the Wix ecosystem as well. But for those that are here, I'm more than sure that you guys will be able to take part in the certification process. So in review, what we were able to touch today, we were able to go over what cross-selling is and the advantages. So we spoke about how cross-selling can increase your revenue, change your entire cart experience for your users. On top of that, it can also then raise your conversion rates. You'll be able to learn a lot about your user through cross-selling, and using Corvid has made it just as accessible, and it's a completely accelerated process when you're using it this way. From our integrated databases all the way to using our stores vertical. We also learned about the certification process just now, and I'll definitely take some time right now to then answer any questions that anyone wasn't able to ask during the webinar, or if you just thought about something just now. So feel free to ask any questions in the chat or use the Q&A panel at the top. I believe it's somewhere in the Zoom screen. And thank you, Aviva and Meredith, in the chat answering some questions right now about the certification program. So again, if anyone has any questions, like either on the code that we just discussed or the process of cross-selling as well, feel free to ask in the chat. So we see someone here said, today we know the percentage of the conversion rate of our store and specified products needs a visual. So yeah, this is definitely going to be very helpful for you, Ivan. This will help you push those products and raise that visibility as well. But will we ever be able to write front-end React code? React, no, not that I know of right now in terms of front-end React code. We do have like our own syntax, as well as that Wix has a lot of their own internal APIs that come packed with Corvid. And on top of that, we do have like a bit of a different syntax, I guess, when it comes to selecting different elements on the page. React is a different ecosystem, so I'm not really sure about what that is in terms of our pipeline, but I don't believe that's a direction that Corvid is going in. Great. So we are available on Reddit as well. So definitely invite you all to come and join our subreddit, Corvid by Wix. And what we're doing there is we're having the community come together, share different projects, ideas, learn about any other updates that are happening with Corvid, any events that we have coming up, either if it's a conference that Meredith and I are either speaking at, or if we're having another webinar like we are now. Hopefully in the future, we will be having some more e-commerce webinars, either if it's for something like upselling or any other topics that are surrounding Corvid and using stores. And if you have any other questions that you want to ask about Corvid, or if you want to, help the community out as well, come over to Stack Overflow. Meredith is in there and is really active answering questions and helping foster the community there by using our tag Corvid. Yep. And as Aviva mentioned, feel free to email and request that for the React question that you had to wixpartners@wix.com. Awesome. And again, make sure you check out the API reference, look for any updates that are happening with Corvid on the official website. Check us out on Stack Overflow and Reddit. And thank you all very much for coming to our cross-selling webinar today. We'll definitely have this for you to review in the recording sometime soon. And again, thank you very much for coming out today.